Hello everybody, welcome to our third presentation. Our topic is going to be data mining, and of course the authors are going to be me, Rajesh Ramswamy, and my partner, Sydney Tran. So a brief overview of data mining and what we'll be covering in our presentation include some of the applications and like where you might see data mining used, and also things such as careers and professional stuff that you would be able to do with data mining if it was something that you were interested in. Moving into the table of contents, again, some of the things we'll be covering include a brief introduction of data mining, a little bit of background and like history and where data mining and the ideology originates, some of the technical aspects, job production, and other impacts that it may have in our society today. According to our research, data mining can be a very useful tool today, and the studies have shown that in the modern society, the average person has exponentially more access to digital data than they would have had prior to the computer being able to store all of our information. The studies have also showed that data being produced is doubled approximately every 2 years. And again, this is big data that we're talking about that humans are unable to sift through and find what they're looking for unless they use the help of a computer or program. Um, One of the most prevalent ways we've been able to sort this data and gather useful information from the data is the use of neural networks and machine learning. These techniques can be really helpful when we're trying to draw relations for marketing or other areas of interest. It's important to highlight how much data there actually is that needs to be explored, because research has shown again that over 90% of the data that we have collected digitally is unsorted data, meaning that we're unable to draw relations or conclusions for what we might need them for.
With the help of data mining, we're able to take these conclusions that we draw from the relations of the data and apply them to whatever area best see fit. Now, moving on to some of the history around data mining and just some of the sources where the idea of using data to predict outcomes in future events comes from dates way back to the 1700s, 1763. Thomas Bayes publishes his theorem, and this theorem is pretty simple. It basically states that having previous knowledge on a subject or a topic will allow you to make a reasonable guess for an outcome. Moving on a little bit later down the road in 1943, the first concept of neural networks are being designed, and these computer systems are beginning to learn similarly to the way humans learn, and this is extremely beneficial for the future of data mining. Now, it's important to note that the modern day use of data mining wasn't initially used in professional industries until the 1990s. That's when the term data mining was actually coined, and you started seeing it appear in a multitude of markets across the board. And again, with data mining, one of the most beneficial areas of impact that it has in the consumer market is simply just marketing. With the help of data mining, marketing teams are able to better advertise their products for the consumer and make a more personalized advertisement layout. And then moving into some of the more recent years, in 2015, the White House is able to see their first chief data scientist, which is an incredible step forward for the industry of data science and data mining altogether. And moving not too far into the future, present day, we're now using techniques such as deep learning to better help us understand extremely large sets of data, and these models are capable of even understanding data that is unstructured. So the main technical parts to understanding data mining begins with first understanding that once the data is obtained, it needs to be extracted and transformed. This could be cleaning, sorting, things of that nature. And then after you've done that, you take your clean data or your sorted data and you feed it to your model. And your model then uses complex algorithms to draw the relations that you're looking for. And again, these algorithms that are within the model are capable of doing this with hours and hours of training. And once you're able to draw the relations that you're looking for, you're able to deploy the useful data or the useful relations even to whatever it is that you want to apply it to, whether it be artificial intelligence or marketing or the health field. So you might be wondering what are some of the professional impacts or the professional options that you might be able to take when considering data mining if it's something that you're interested in. Some of the top results that we were able to conclude were business intelligence analysts, data scientists, and data architects. And now most of these are just bachelor's degrees. A data scientist may be required to have a master's degree, and sometimes even a data architect might be required to have a master's degree, depending on the position and the company and what they require. And a lot of these salaries are 75,000 and above, with data science being well over that at $113,000. Now, moving on to the job projection and what some of these positions will look like in about 10 years. Each position is expected to progress and skyrocket even for business intelligence analysts with a whopping 24% increase. Data scientists not too far behind at 19%, and then data architects at 8%, which is still above the median. And now I'll be handing over the rest of the presentation to my teammate who will be telling you guys a little bit more about data mining.
Data mining has a number of significant ethical issues associated with it. Among these issues, privacy holds the biggest ethical concern of all. Data mining may pose a threat to certain ethical values, most notably privacy and individuality, especially on the web. Due to the nature of how data mining works, it becomes very difficult for people to freely control how data about their private lives are accessed and distributed. In regards to web as well as internet usage, data mining typically breaches privacy when it involves tracing users and analyzing their actions online without their knowledge. As an extension to the subject of privacy, there are further ethical issues about data mining, including the lack of reliable ways for people to protect themselves against breaches of privacy. There are certain workarounds that can be performed, but the benefits are still very limited. These workarounds can be classified into two different categories: workarounds at an individual level and workarounds at a collective level. Workarounds at an individual level are actions a person can take in an attempt to protect their own privacy situations from potential violations. For example, this may consist of privacy-enhancing technologies, using vigilance when providing personal information on the internet, and reading privacy policies associated with each website. On the other hand, workarounds at a collective level are actions that must be performed by a larger entity in society, such as the government or businesses. These types of workarounds may include the development of privacy technology, writing and publishing the privacy policies for websites and services, heavily monitoring data mining activity on the web, promoting awareness for all users and minors alike, and taking legal measures, such as restricting the use of profiling. All these issues about privacy loosely tie into the social impact of data mining as well. One of the biggest impacts of data mining in today's society is the emergence of targeted advertising. Most people may have noticed that the advertisements they see on the internet tend to adjust themselves to each user's habits. Everyday trends and behaviors of society are more easily predictable with the use of data mining. By predicting consumer behavior, bigger entities are able to offer targeted advertising based on information relevant to their consumers. However, this also comes with a drawback. Many companies are likely to sell information about their customers to other companies, such as credit card purchases, which again ties into the issue of privacy. Other impacts on society brought upon by data mining include web trackers built into search engines. Usage logs provide search engines and internet providers with valuable information about an individual's web usage habits, making tracking, profiling, and personalizing content more easily possible. But to stray away from the questionable relationship data mining has with the internet, data mining can actually have potentially beneficial impacts on things like healthcare. Specifically, it has helped physicians determine the best course of action in the medical field, reducing instances of unknown drug interactions, helping to stop insurance fraud, following the purchase history of prescriptions, matching specialists with patients, and improving patient outcomes and safety. Overall, the social and ethical concerns of data mining are the most notorious part about it, but it's still not without genuine benefits. Other areas, such as healthcare, are still positively impacted by data mining, and these fields will continue to advance their technology with the help of data mining. Markets and products will also be more streamlined for everyday consumers, making it easier for people to obtain the things they need, even if it's at the expense of their privacy. Eventually, society will seek to find a balance between the benefits and issues of data mining, and if that can be achieved, data mining may become an essential part of society in the future. This is our bibliography with the sources we use for this presentation, and if there are any questions, it might be possible to post them as comments for this presentation. Thank you so much.